Now we have a new caster with me. It's Epsa.
Yeah, what's up, guys? I hope you're going to be kind to me after that game, last one.
Oh no, for sure. They have to be, or they get the bad hammer.
Yeah,
No, but this time we have like two completely different decks. We don't have green purple or green yellow anymore. We have Enel and Smoker, red green Smoker.
yeah, it's definitely two more interesting decks for this format because I think a lot of people at least counts Enel out and Smoker getting some support, but probably being more on the roguish side compared to like blue purple, green purple.
Yeah, and I think we also have the deck list for the decks itself. I don't know if the Smoker plays anything new. It doesn't really. Oh no, he does play some new cards. Okay, we might see them early on. It's the new cards we got from OP11. Was it? I think the Searcher.
Yeah, I think like one of the biggest problems for Smoker is like the consistency because
Yeah.
the games where you hit Smoker, they feel really good, but the games where like you don't hit it and it feels like so bad. So getting another way to find it is really good for the deck.
Hey, that makes it really interesting. I think Enel just plays a bunch of new cards, not a lot, just like 2 or 4. The new what is it, Zeus card was it? I think.
Yeah. Probably every yellow deck that's like can take life is going to run it.
Yeah, Zeus is crazy. It pops a 5 cost when you take your life, right?
You take a life on play and then you pop a 5 cost.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So you played it in green, yellow too. And you played for certain matchups, or just like, is there anything you really want to pop with that in any matchup? Also in Enel here.
Yeah, I think in general, like popping a 5-drop for 2 Don is crazy to do.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And in like these more like defensive decks that yellow are, it's like kind of easy to play it without getting punished.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
So we did a Virgo here. I didn't see what we grabbed.
We grabbed the Tashigi. Again, like the perfect counter to the Zeus we talked about earlier. Because if we have the Smoker Tashigi combo here, we won't be like Enel won't be able to kill the Smoker itself because the Tashigi just gets rested if they play Zeus. So that probably won't happen.
Yeah, and the Smoker into Enel is probably one of the key cards to get advantage of, so Enel can't like gain resources and you can like slowly bleed him out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, what is our win condition as Smoker? You said like the Smoker card itself. Is there any other big cards that would make sense? Probably like Kid or something, right?
Yeah, I think Kid is really good into this matchup because also Enel doesn't have Raigo anymore. So even
Oh
though you
yeah.
can put up Kid with Rosie and things like that, it still will be really hard to do because Enel is still kind of slow, right? So if you get the early Kid, then it's really hard to interact with.
Okay, and we see the Zeus already. Feels like really good play here because Zeus kills the 3-cost Tashigi. Basically stealing the last turn from a Smoker. And now if the Smoker doesn't have another Tashigi, he can't really protect his 5-cost he plays this turn.
Yeah, exactly. If I was playing Smoker and only had one Tashigi and the Smoker, I think I would have waited one turn with it because we
Yeah.
can play both in the same turn.
Yeah, hopefully see this here because he restands a Don with with Smoker and 2 with Leader. And if he has a Tashigi, he definitely wants to play it here, and he does have another one, so everything is saved. Basically, a waste Zeus, I would say, because the other Tashigi was more or less just bait for it. Now we have the Smoker established, and that is just really, really good. What is Enel's win condition here? Just removing everything?
Yeah, I think for Enel it's like you just want to survive the mid game and then get to late game where you're slamming these big things and kind of choking your opponent out of the game with the cards.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm not sure if it was Moss or someone else. I think it was another red-green Smoker we saw play against Enel, and I'm not sure if it was Moss who's playing right now. Might be because there was like the Enel just played a bunch of like big bodies and just didn't swing and just set up basically this wall of big bodies to kill Smoke in the late game. Probably what we're gonna see here again.
Yeah, I think so too, because we are seeing the Shirahoshi here. So when I've been playing like in ranked queue and in tournaments, sometimes you play against these more aggressive Enels, like playing the Hawkins, the 7 cost. But I think Shira isn't in those builds, so this should be more of a defensive.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the BenC, is he called? I think is it was BenC? Yeah, exactly. So Ben was he played against me against red purple and yeah, red purple Luffy, and yeah, he was playing more of this like defensive stronghold inner build where he takes all his life, plays a bunch of blockers. He even plays Brûlés. You see in trash, you see one. So he plays more blockers than the average inner too.
Yeah, I really like that list because you are really like pushing Enel's win con and not playing like into the format. So you want to do what Enel does good and not like try to play this weird hybrid uh, thing where Enel doesn't excel.
Since okay, but Enel already really low on life. We're on 1 life. Probably life where we want to be at. Because Enel doesn't really care much how much life he has because he's free cycling in the end basically. And Moss is thinking, what's he gonna do here? Is he gonna swing life and tries to pressure him? Maybe swing with a Virgo, a big swing with a Virgo afterwards, or just don't attack and don't give the free cycle to Enel.
Yeah, I think the goal is just to like try to win the resource war with smokers, like we're seeing here.
Maybe the best play for Enel here. How much Don does he have? Do you know? I just didn't really count.
Yeah, the green player is standing and doing don sheet, so I think Daniel should be at 8 next turn.
Oh, we see the first OP11 card here from Smoker. That's the Navy Searcher we talked about, right? And I think he has a really cool side effect. If you trash it in your turn, you get another 1k power up basically just for this turn. So just make the Searcher a little bit better. And I feel like there's something that is getting trendy more and more in One Piece right now. That all these Searchers are getting better and better.
Yeah, exactly. Like for Green Yellow Law, the new Kid and Killer, it can trash itself when opponent swings to stand add-on.
Mm-hmm.
Probably designed for Bonnie, but you can use it, for example, with the Room, as we talked
Yeah.
about before.
Yeah, we were talking about it and was like, yeah, that is actually really, really cool. Okay, it is at 8 Don. So the the how's it called? The Rosinante is not gonna do much if he plays Kata, and I'm not. No, it was another Enel player who played Katas in this list. I don't know if Ben plays 8 cost Kata, um, because I feel like the list is very tight at this point with 10 cost Enel, and now the zoos and everything.
Yeah, I've seen some builds that are really greedy and opts for like 16 of these late game cards, but to me, it's like I think you should rather play like more mid game stuff to survive to late game because you already have like your aces, your Yamato, your 10 cost NLs. I don't think you maybe need to play Kata, or at least you should probably play 12 instead of 16.
This is really interesting because the inner keeps swinging life, and at this point you're a bit nervous to take the 5k, right? Because he's he has kid in hand. It looks like why would you take the 5ks otherwise, right? But Enel also probably knows that you have the 8 cost kid at this point, so you probably cooked up something like knowing he can maybe rush you or kill you or something.
Yeah, I think with NL we just have to like try to survive here and like get our 10 drops in and do like this playing the blockers.
Okay, wow. Yeah. And kill the 5 cost and play double blocker. But the kit is gonna come down and is like really valuable because you can play it with basically with how's it called? Tashigi.
Yeah,
So it's very much safe from getting removed by anything, like any cutters or like any I don't know if there's anything else that could actually remove kit in a yellow deck. There's no Raiko anymore, like you said.
yeah. I mean, it could be in the Nankos Yamato, but then it needs to be more than one life on board.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just 1 life, and so it's probably not gonna happen. Even then, like that's cool. He has only 1 life, and that's also something why Moss probably took both life. Because the Yamato can't hit the Rosinante anymore, right? So he can't really remove anything from the board. And Enel doesn't have a lot of cards in hand anymore. I don't know. I don't like the situation Enel is in right now.
Yeah, because that was the problem when they revealed the new Tenkos. Like people calling it crazy. And I think it's a really good card, but the problem is that you are going to still bleed resources. Like you're going to discard one to gain a life, so it's not a +1. So if we are running low on cards, the card isn't as good as it would be if it would be like a healthier hand size.
Yeah, I totally agree. Ace just feels way better in these late turns because it's a body you play, and you basically get this card back in your life. You know, like the ace in your life. Even if you don't attack with ace or have too much life to rush, you can just play it and get a life. So basically, you don't lose any cards in hand.
Yeah, I agree. So basically +1 instead of like neutral, and also your opponent could opt if you go too low in hand. Your opponent could opt to like starve you as the ML to like go for board instead, and then you're in the spot where okay, I'm at 2 life, but I only have like 2 cards in hand, and if I play a big thing, then it might get removed, and then my opponent can just like poke me down.
Yeah, it's definitely tough then. But okay, yeah, we see the kid coming down from Smoker, so definitely the thing he wants to do this turn. Now the question, he's definitely gonna swing into the Nami, right? He's not never gonna go live, yeah, because he doesn't want to give Enel the free cycle. Basically, he swung with a 5 cost Smoker before, just to bait out the blocker, because banish Enel never is never gonna take the banish, right? It's basically -1 card, and he doesn't want to let it go. So he just blocks the card, and now he has all the time in the world to like establish 10 costs, be it the Enel or the Ace.
Yeah, I'm trying to check because I remember I played the pre-release in OP 11 now, and I think there's a yellows event you have that actually could remove Kid, but I don't think you play it. But I was trying to figure out what card it is.
Is that okay? That would be interesting. Is it the new 1 cost event that you can like rest a bunch of on, or is it like just a big event?
It's a 6 cost event. No, okay, it's only 6 cost. So during main add-on character with 6 cost less to the top or bottom opponent's life. Okay, so it's not 8. But I think they revealed a event if your leader is, was it Supernova or something like that for the next set.
Look at the board. We just got hit
Oh,
by a huge card. The not just the 10 cost ace, but it's the manga, not the manga, the serial ace. It's crazy. That's
yeah.
just holy. That's cool. That's really cool.
I heard it says you get 2 life.
Yeah, if you play this, you're allowed to take 2 life, honestly. And he gets rush. Fuck it, just give it everything.
Yeah.
No, really cool card. When probably just the card that Enel wants in this situation, right? I mean, he didn't cycle much, so he needs to have his top end in hand to make this work. Um, but yeah, we'll see if he has enough to kill the kid either this or next turn.
Yeah. So I think the goal now for Enel is to like keep poking at the kid, getting resources from Smoker here, but also like not going too low with resource and letting the ace survive. And I think we are in a decent spot to do that because we are at 2 life. We're probably going to keep the ace because you have the Shirahoshi there. So if we like drop another 10 drop next turn, maybe heal and we could even heal rush if we take another life, then I think we are in a really good spot as Enel.
100% agreed. I feel like if Enel takes the 7k ring from Smoker, right, the character, and he trashes the life, we could start swinging at life, but we could also just opt for swinging the 7k at life, maybe trashing the life, or potentially getting 2 counter and then swinging into the ace, right, and getting either more resources or the blocker, right? So I like the idea of just swinging into the character because Enel doesn't have much cards in it, but he plays the Hody, and Hody is a huge card here, right? Hody is amazing. You don't have life, so you don't really take any. You have the kid on board anyways, and you rest the blocker. That is huge.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a 7/8 rusher that rests 2 cards, like cost 3, as you said. So I think, like, especially for all these green decks that play Hody, because a lot of them, because of Kid, are comfortable going down to 0. And then you can, like, resolve these 3 Hodys in games like this and really, like, push the game.
And now we swing a cool 7 into life. It's banished too, so it's basically needed to be countered, right? Like, there's no way we don't counter this. And as soon as he counters, we still swing. Like we swing just a 5 in life. We can just poke, right? We just swing a 5, We chill, and if he counters the 5, we swing into the ace, and that's what I would do at least. Especially because we see two 2Ks come down from Enel's hand here. If he takes the 5K from life, or we could also just opt for swinging. Oh, we just reset all of our down. That's crazy. Yeah, we could just opt out for just swinging Kid big into the ace or something. Leave him at 2 life, so every card he could play is less effective.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of argument to take that hit actually to keep the resources to keep ace on board, because I feel like if we lose this ace now, we're going to lose the game.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it. If this ace goes, it's the only threat we basically have. We only have 3 cards in hand. Um, Even if we take the banish hit, I'm not sure if we would die. Right? We are in it. Right? We have like 2 cards. It could be a potential trigger. He knows his last life, so maybe he knows there's not gonna be a trigger in there.
Yeah, and also like the rule of Enel, they will always hit at least 2 you're the one who disappears when you play into them. So
Hey, Frankie. He knew that there was a Frankie in there though. So very interesting to go for the counter of the banish then. Or as far as I know, Enel plays 1 7 cost. I'm not entirely sure if he does only anymore. But if I remember correctly, the last time I played him, he played only 1 7 cost. No, I think he stocked up to 2 7 costs. Very interesting.
yeah, especially in this format when there's a lot of Luffy cards running around.
Oh yeah, you're right. Holy shit. It's just yeah, it just get killed. Um,
Yeah.
but looking at Enel's list again, it's a very greedy list. It's like there's a lot of high end cards. Um, so just swinging could be really good. But Smoker put himself against the wall a little bit here. He could go and swing 9 at life. It's a bit awkward. Because then our Tashiki's rested. And if they have anything like a kid or something, it could be hard for the coming turns. Not kid. I mean, obviously, Katakuri to clear the kid.
Yeah, I think the Don might be to like play a Rosie or maybe another Tashigi and leaving up the 2 cost event.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would be better. But then we give Enel cards in hand, like we did right now. And they have the opportunity to play another ace maybe and just keep poking at Kid. So it's a tough call. You go in, take 3 more cards from Enel's hand, or play it safe. Say, okay, I don't have the counter, I need to play it safe. I'll search again for the event. Okay, that's what he's doing right now. Maybe search for another blocker, and then just play another turn.
Yeah, because in the spot of the red green now, if we lose this kid, then we probably lose the game.
Agreed.
But I feel like if the NL has the 10 drop NL, I think NL swings back. This game is up in the air, I think.
Right now it is, yeah, but that's only because he didn't clear the ace. That's how I feel at least. If he cleared the ace here, the game would be basically over. But he went for life and gave the Enel the resources to basically keep living. And I don't know if that was the right idea here.
Yeah, I agree.
We have another blocker though. So we did play the chopper. I think it's chopper, right? We played the chopper. So we have a blocker to clear to keep the kid alive if there's gonna come a big swing, and hopefully we have some counter in hand. I mean, we have like 5 cards. Like what, 5 cards? There should be some counter in there.
Yeah. I think as the smoker, we are in the spot like probably because we went for this game plan, we probably have to kill our opponent next turn.
Oh, okay. Ace
Okay.
goes big into kid. Very interesting. Are we gonna go for game here? No way.
That's a good question, because was there Katais in the list?
I think he plays 4 Katakuri, if I looked at it correctly. Um, yeah. Oh, yeah. Looking at the list, it's 4 Katakuri. So if he has Katakuri, what is he gonna do with it? I mean, he can't really use it on Kid because of the Tashigi. Um, but if he just blocks here, right? If Moss just blocks here, what is Enel ever gonna do about the Kid?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think what we're going to do is play the Katakuri here and probably heal the Frankie or the Zeus.
Yeah, I think that's the play. Maybe he didn't have any other big body. Because swinging into kid like a 10k swing or something is just not it, right? It wouldn't
No.
work. You still have 5 cards in hand on Smoker's side, so it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. And we're putting
Oh, okay, we are gonna swing 10 at kid, so maybe that just shows that we have nothing in hand. Maybe we actually bricked up. I mean, we didn't cycle at all, so it could be that we just don't have anything. And he throws two 2Ks. Mm, he just, yeah, he goes 8 at kid. It's basically pass. Okay, he shows his hand. He had 5k counter in hand, but he didn't really have anything. Like, so,
no.
yeah. I mean, he had 5k counter, but he didn't have any here, right? Yeah, he had two 8-cost kids in hand. Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, we definitely needed to heal his turn to have a chance to play.
Yeah. I mean, the 8-cost kid is nice, but but Red Green Smoker just took all his life, like, instantly. And so, the kid doesn't do anything, right? I mean, you should know. You played kid
Oh.
in what was this guy? Vegapunk, right? Like, it's crazy shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like probably in Enel, I don't think it's as good as in Vegapunk. Because in Vegapunk, you get a real big benefit of putting your opponent to zero because you can start to heal and then put your opponent in an awkward spot where if they swing on you, then you get to develop bodies. So they're like, okay, I can't really go in and I can't really, and then you just get to build up your life and then you like win by playing the long game from there. But I think it's all right as like a 2-off in NL, as like an aggressive card into certain matchups.
Yeah. I think BenC's list is a bit more aggressive than usual. Like, he plays two Enel, like I said, two 7-cost Enel. He plays four of the kit, of the 8-cost kit. 8-cost kit, like you said, like a 2-off maybe, but four is really greedy in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, this 4.
Yeah, he plays four. And then to Enel. He also plays the Kiko Nojo. Like, he just plays a more trigger heavy list, it looks like. He plays the Brûlé for more defensive power. And then he also plays the Kiko Nojo. So when it comes out of the life, it's just another big body to swing into like something. And he also plays. Oh, he is very interesting because he doesn't play any Yamatos anymore. What do you think about that?
I actually think that Yamato is probably one of the worst ones because it's like kind of conditional to. And NL, I think NL right now doesn't starve the opponent as much. You like try to poke your opponent because you have like the 10 cost NL, which is another rusher, so you can easily find lethal compared to before. So I think the strength of Yamato popping something is not as much there anymore.
That makes sense. Yeah, I agree. Was Yamato ever playable in Vegapunk? Or is it just like a meh card?
Yeah, it used to be because before I played like a control version for locals now and then. So you only played. This was before we got the 5 costs. You played like 4 Katakuri, 4 Yamato, and your game plan was essentially to play like NL. Like you put things in their life, and then you like your solo Yamato, and a lot of wins was like deck out against certain matchups that I
That's
like
crazy.
Doffy you deck out.
Oh wow. That's crazy. Nah, there wouldn't be anything for me. I don't. That's not my place there, I think. In this matchup though, what do you think they want to go? What is the preferred um curve for either of those decks?
I feel like Smoker wants to go first, so like to establish this FICO Smoker as early as possible.
Yeah, like we saw last game, right?
Yeah, and I think NL probably prefers to go second. So I don't know if we want to go second as a smoker to deny NL from hitting the even curve, or if we go.
Yeah, it's a tricky question. If we go second, we could take our life a little bit more aggressive because we can still play the 5-cost and 3-cost on 6 Don. And then on 8 Don, we can still play the kid on curve. And if we took like 3 or 4 of our life, we can still put a Don underneath, right? With lead effect. So second is fine for Smoker, I would say. It's not as aggressive and you can't poke as much, but it's still not bad. I feel like maybe you just want to destroy Enel's curve, especially if you know that they don't play any Yamatos. But I don't know if Moss know that he doesn't play any Yamatos, so not sure.
Yeah, I don't know actually if it's standard because I'm not that caught up to like NL theory. What
No,
what
me
version
neither.
is the standard?
Me neither. Yeah, I hate Enel.
Same,
But
same.
yeah, it's not a deck for me. Like it's just it's like Shanks. It's like I think we talked about it earlier in the stream. It's like all these control slow five like Bonnie Shanks and it's just not for me. I mean, people enjoy them. Sure, play, go ahead, but I would not. It's just not my kind of playstyle.
Yeah.
Smoker took first though. What we talked about. He's probably just gonna try to establish the 5 cost and 3 cost on curve again, and that's already a really good turn for him, basically.
Yeah, having this added consistency for this deck is huge to be able to like see Smoker a lot more often.
Yeah, the searcher he just played out too. Yeah.
And also, like, if you have a Smoker, then you're consistently also going to see Tashigi, so you're like going to see both of the pieces a lot more easy.
Yeah. True. Interesting that Enel keeps poking. Because I played against some Enels who just didn't attack at all. I mean, what you gain from attacking 8s here, right? You know, Smoker. Oh, maybe you want to put him to 3 so you can play as Kikonoji. That makes sense. But other than 3, I don't see why you would poke more.
Yeah, I think the focus for NLH should be to like try to win the resource game.
Exactly. He will always win the resource game. If you have long enough, right? Because like he has a free resource every round and it's alive especially. So it's a free cycle, it's a free card if he keeps it on one the whole time. Like so I don't know. Enel basically has a free resource every turn, and so he will always win the resource game, especially against Smoker, who can't really make resources appear. It's a 4 life leader too, so he can't really get from life either.
Yeah, I think there might be an argument actually to just commit to a full star from NL.
Yeah,
Focus.
it's what I would say. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, you go.
yeah, we are hitting the Smoker Tashigi here again.
Oh yeah, it's big for him. That's basically the best turn you can have, right? It's the turn for the mission, and you have the 1 cost searcher, so you could also swing 8 next turn with a smoker.
Yeah, push.
Wait, are you talking about the in chat? I think they're talking about Moss's sleeves. Are you talking about the Don sleeves? Is that just like someone like? Is that just a who's that? Or are you talking about his normal sleeves? Jack and Rosa, tell me. Okay, we saw Zeus, and so he's definitely gonna. Yeah, he's. Is it this good? I don't know. This doesn't really feel too good. He plays the Zeus to pop the 3 cost. Oh, okay, never mind. He has both. Okay, never mind. I take it back. This is insane.
Yeah,
Best.
I,
Oh god, yeah.
I feel like against this combo, if you have like two things to clear them, then you're like insanely ahead in this matchup. Because it was the same when you play Vegapunk that you can like play a Luffy and then play a Naomi to like clear both of them, and then you also get to develop two bodies. Now Enel doesn't do it, but I think like the way to win is to hit this turn.
Yeah, totally agree. Does Zeus take the card to hand or trash it?
It takes it to hand.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes it even better then. I thought it would trash. That was already good, not gonna lie, but like to hand is insane.
Yeah, it's draw one, pop a 5 cost lower.
Okay,
So
they think that his sleeves, oh god, have like a Jack's face on it. It's insane. That's funny. That's really really funny.
yeah.
Oh my. Oh oh. Backman. We didn't see Backman at all last game, but Backman is really really good against Kiku, right?
Yeah, because it trashes and Kiko needs to be KO'd.
Funny thing, it's also really good against Shirahoshi, but it's yeah. I think you probably want to take some pressure off of you if you don't have the kit yet, maybe.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Hmm.
So
It's not the
for the yeah.
yeah, it's not the best turn, but it's definitely better than nothing. On 8, yeah, I mean you don't have the how's it called the smoker anymore, so you can't really poke because on 1 life you don't really want to attack, right? So
Yeah, and also for the smoker deck, it's not like the green and yellow law where you play like all of these supernova searches. You are like in a position where you're maybe not going to see the kid as consistent as in other decks like Bonnie and Law.
Yeah. Oh, and we see the kid for the first time here now, and kid is like the yellow kid, also 8-cost kid, but it's yellow 8-cost kid, and here it actually had big value. It banished a life and it cycled a card, and now it basically cycles a card every turn for Enel. I don't think we really want to swing into it because it's still a 9k body. We also don't really want to swing into life, so this is a bit of an awkward spot to be in as Smoker, especially if you don't have Kit. I hope we do have Kit, but we'll see.
Yeah, and also this like last game we weren't able to play the kid on curve because like our opponent had a big board, so we had to focus it more. But this game we had like the Zeus and the pop for the smokers. We are actually able to have a turn we can play the kid, and now it's going to give a lot of value because last time when we hit tendon we had no board, but now we're going to have like a 8-9 body.
Are we seeing just a go for game in this position? This is crazy. He knows that Enel is playing really bricky lists, and I mean, there is an argument for going for game. I'm not gonna lie, because I mean, of course, he has like what 8 cards in hand, but he didn't. Was he gonna swing? Wait, he swung 2 at 2. What was that?
I think it was a swing on the Shira or the Zeus, maybe.
But is it a 0 attack, the searcher?
Yeah, I think it is because he has this like added effect.
That's interesting. So does that tell us he has like a bunch of counter in hand? Because I like the play that he just goes for what are you saying? For game, because Enel plays a really bricky hand and he didn't really cycle and whatnot, right? But now seeing that there was a 1k thrown, it definitely makes you think, can I actually go for game here?
Yeah, I think this is a spot where Smoker doesn't have the 8-drop kid in hand. So like the only way we can do this is probably just like, okay, maybe our opponent is bricked up. There's no other way, so we have to like play into a win con, even if it's like a 10% chance.
Yeah, agreed. So if we swing 5 life here, Enel basically has a counter, and then you could play like a 2-cost, maybe leave for the event open, and still bring Enel to 0, maybe swing 7-8 or something.
Yeah.
He's a power buff. He's a power buff.
Yeah, I think our game plan now as the Smoker is probably like try to clear the board and then after that putting up like a 2-cost blocker.
It looks like it. He buffed the Holy to 9, and now swings 11 into. I suppose it's the kid. I mean, this is the only very choice that I would say makes sense. Okay, he gets countered out by Ace. He has 2 modern open and the 7k swing. I hope there's a blocker coming down, because I don't know if the event is enough to live. Okay, he has the blocker. Now we pray a little bit that Enel doesn't have any more removal. If he has a 2-cost Zeus, I feel like this is over.
Yeah, also I think like if Enel sees like a heal 10-drop here or something, I think this game is probably going to end not
Yeah.
this next turn, but probably like in the long run, because we're just going
100%.
to turtle up. And also the Smoky player here not having kid this turn means that he has to draw it like naturally from like the next draw.
Yeah, 100% agree. It doesn't look like there's any chance if there's heal, so Enel probably just plays safe. He doesn't need to go for game. I mean, there's a if he has the KO, we go for game because it's obvious. Because there's math. Probably he only has like what Smoker has only like 5 or 6 cards. Probably math lethal. And it does look like he's doing. Yeah, he's taking his life. He has the second Zeus. He only plays to 2. But he has the second Zeus, so he uses it. And Smoker only has 5 cards. Even if these are all 2Ks, it's not going to be enough to counter out of this swing. And it is, it's some counter, but it's not enough. All right,
Yeah.
Enel takes second game, and Enel had a bunch of counter in hand, so we saw the 2K and 0-cost event earlier, so he had just a bunch of counter.
Yeah, and now I wonder because we see this ace again. So is there one serialized or is there multiples in the deck?
Whoa, we gotta ask him after the game because that is insane. Imagine he has like a playset of those in deck. That would be insane.
And I also get annoyed because we see a regular Art Frankie and like serialized ace.
That's crazy.
My Max Foil brain is confused.
True. Someone asked if yeah, no, that is the thing, right? Jimby, it's like if you give him the heal from Shira, you I mean you probably wouldn't have killed the kid, right? Would you? It goes -6. What does Morgan do again? Does it give -5 and then kills it 2k, right?
Yeah, if you have a 6k or above.
Yeah. Okay, so we had a Beckman, so we could have played killed the Shira, but then we just never kill him, right? He just lets the kid go. And we can establish a blocker, yes, but it still comes down to the same outcome. I don't feel like it makes much sense. Like, we can't really clear the board anyways.
Yeah, I think some lines like for clearing board might like be optimal, but in that spot, I think what Moss tried to do was to like try to see if there was a way to go for lethal. And when we saw that, okay, we can't kill our opponent, we have to like try to pivot board instead.
Sense. Like I said, probably just the 1k counter on the 0-on-0 made him like rethink. He's like, oh my, he has too much
Yeah.
counter in hand. I'm never gonna kill him. And so he tried to live another turn. Obviously didn't work.
Yeah, it's like when you play against GP Luffy and they like you are going for lethal and they throw a giant with a giant and you're just sitting there like, okay.
We saw Smoker go first this game. It's 1-1 now, but so Smoker can choose this round. So no, Enel went second, right? That's the thing. Yeah, Enel went second, and now Smoker can choose, and I'm pretty sure Smoker wants to go second here. Seeing now that 8-cost kid is in Enel's list, and the 10-cost is just avoiding this one turn earlier, and he still has a decent curve on second. So I don't think. Yeah, I do think Smoker wants to go second for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's also nice because we see an additional card to like have another draw to see the kid too, which probably is the key card in this matchup.
Yeah, we have the extra card. That's a lot of lot of 2 life leader. Actually, want to go. Not 2 life leader. What I'm saying, there's only 1 2 life leader. There's like a lot of 4 life leader want to go second because they have got this extra card that they can't get from life usually. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Enel keeps his hand, and Smoker is gonna mulligan. I think we saw what our win condition is on both sides. Enel just needs to play the long game and survive as long as possible, while Smoker is trying to establish those like 5-cost bodies, maybe like put like a Tashigi with it so it can't get popped. And the 6-on turn doesn't work anymore, right? If he does the Smoker Tashigi turn, oh no, we're on 7th and after, right? So it doesn't matter. Maybe we're cooked. Maybe we're just cooked and Enel just wins this.
Yeah, it depends, and also like I think what we see in this matchup, like it all boils down to the 5-cost smoker, like if it sticks to board or not.
Wait, but no, we didn't start yet.
Okay, Chad, who will win the last game? Are your money on smoker or the NL?
Good question. But okay, Smoker chooses to go first again. I don't know if I 100% agree with it, but we'll find out if that's the play here.
Yeah, I think the game plan is just to try to find like smoker on curve and try to like put as much pressure as possible in the early game because I feel like going second is great because we block the curve and we can like play the kid. But I feel like to win this matchup we actually need to like get out a smoker like starting to push the banish as early as possible.
Yeah, and we saw Nami here, or like what is it, the Sanji and Nami's body, um, on 3, and I feel like this Nami is really good against Ine because it's like basically a body that recycles itself, gets alive from Ine, puts a bit of pressure on it, so you don't hate it dying or getting swung into. So I really like the Nami in this matchup.
Yeah, the Nami card is a broken 3 cost. Oh, you talk about the Nami Sanji.
Yeah, the 3 cost Nami Sanji card there, yeah. But we don't play it. We play Search instead. Interesting choice because I know we have it. Right? Are we playing around something maybe? Maybe 4 cost event?
Yeah, I think it's the case that we don't have like the Smoker or the Tashigi, and we are looking to pick up any of them to try to get the 5 on turn going.
That makes sense. That makes definitely sense. Yeah, that's way smarter. See, that's why they are playing and I'm commentating and I'm not playing.
Yeah, no, but wait, we could actually have played the. No, wait, because we're 3 Don. Never mind. I was thinking about doing the standing play, but you can only do that on 4 Don.
But this is really cool. Did you see what he just did? He played the Searcher, and because it's basically 1 Don that you just get back, he destroyed the Searcher to give 1 Don on the other Searcher to swing a 5k again to put Enel to 2 already. That's really cool. It's very interesting play. Very fun. I like that.
Yeah, I really like the new design of the 1 drops that they give them like small bonus effect that's in flavor to the color to the archetype.
Yeah, and it never feels like like OP or something. It's just good. Like it's it just makes the card a little bit more usable. It's not even that crazy. It's just okay. It's just good, right?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And also, like the downside is in some matchups having like the small weenie on board is actually really good because it can like threaten lethal in some ways, like doing a shaky 5k swing. But I really like the flavor of being able to do some extra.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, we start countering out as Italy. Yeah? Maybe a bit scared of a 5 cost, 3 cost play. Um, and then next turn, getting poked a bunch. Maybe even needing to take a life of the 7 cost swing. That's why he did that. So yeah, never saw Enel counter out this early.
Yeah. I think like if we don't have a way to deal with the Tashigi Smoker, I think we should have taken that to see an additional card. Because we are going to otherwise take a Smoker hit next turn. So we could have used the counter on that instead.
I agree. Maybe his process was just I killed him anyways, and I need to take my no, yeah, exactly. He needs to take his life here. That's so cool. He does the same thing, right? He counted out so he can take his life with the cloud and then kills both. It's crazy. He actually has it. He plays 2 zoos and he has saw them both. It's insane.
Yeah,
This is rough.
NL always has the card they need.
Yeah, this is definitely really rough. And you saw it like Moss was shrugging. He's like, yeah, well, he just has it. I mean, what am I supposed to, right? It's just in it. Like next turn he's gonna play an 8 cost and then yeah. This feels rough for Smoker.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's only 2 Zeus in this list because he was going into Moss, who has played like Red Green Smoker
Yeah.
every week.
True. Maybe he wasn't really attacking. Maybe he was like practicing for regionals or something. I don't know if he's playing regionals on the weekend or nothing. So maybe he's just playing the list he would play anyways. And not really attacking. That's the only thing I could think about.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Jack just and Jack just said I think he only owns 2. So maybe that's the answer. If he only owns 2 Zeus, he doesn't want to substitute the others. Makes sense, I guess.
yeah. So there's a serialized ace in the deck, but only owns 2 Zeus. But I think that's because like the set is new. So we are thinking here as the Smoker. So maybe like we are going to see a Beckman again. We could even hold here if you have the kid in the hand, just like clear the board and get in a poke on face with a 5 and then a 7k.
Yeah. If he takes this, that's a Frankie. We knew that it is a Frankie. If he took it, put it there. Really good for us here. Just another 5k poke. Um, Interesting. Okay, that's the AC1. So you just put it in a stack, not selling it. I mean, fair enough. I wasn't that patient with my cereal. I just sold it.
Did
Too
you
much
get
money.
days?
No, I won the Shanks back in OP of 5, was it, I think? And it's too much money back then to like just say like fuck it. And Shanks wasn't playable anyway, so it doesn't really Yeah.
Mm.
Ace is crazy though. Ace is really playable, really cool looking. Yeah. Okay, Hody is probably the perfect answer here in this case because Enel was like trying to starve us a little bit, like give a little bit. But now we have the opportunity to just swing into the blocker again. I don't know if I would counter this, right? Oh yeah, he takes the life, obviously.
Yeah. I was thinking because I thought I saw him take a life before, so I was like, wait. And then yeah, just took a little bit later.
I don't know if we'd counter this. This feels not good. Because where's the fishman going anyways, right? Because it's not gonna swing live, is it? Did we restand Don already? Why didn't we restand Don and swung 3? Do we want the Don open?
That's a good question. Maybe we want to like play a rose here, keep the event up. But
Yeah.
I think guarding the Brille here is all right because that means that we are probably keeping the Frankie or the Brille here.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah, makes sense. Mm. I don't know. Did the 5k swing get counted? Or did he take his life? Because then we could swing 8 life as well.
Yeah, he took it and played the Frankie,
Ah,
I
yeah, you're
believe.
right. Yeah, I forgot. So maybe swinging 8 life or like resending it on swinging 9 life would be fair enough too.
Yeah, I agree.
And he's only on 8 Don, so the only thing he could do is play Kata, heal himself for the Brule basically, maybe, or Frankie again. And then oh okay, that is, I don't know if I agree with this. I don't know. I don't like, I would have swung into the Brule all life, but are we trying to play the long game here? That's the question. Now the Kata can just put the Hody to life and we're basically cooked, right? Because we don't really have anything on board.
Yeah, I think so. Because and this also tells the Enel player that there's probably not a kid in hand. Because if we had a kid, we don't really care about the Frankie putting us down to 0.
It's the small body. Yeah, and then the Kata. Now we can just put the Hody there. I don't like this. If he was on 0, he at least could keep the Hody on board and now could swing a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
If he doesn't have a second Hody, I don't know how he wins this.
yeah, I think the right play was to go face there, so our opponent here doesn't like have the option to put the Hody back to life.
Yeah, as well as the Rosi, I don't know why we would play the Rosi. We could have swung 3 into Brûlé, and we could have swung 9 into life with Hody. Or like 10 into life and 2 into Brûlé, that's also fine. But like clear the Brûlé and swing life with a big body with a basic swing. But I don't think we need the Rosinante here. I feel like there was a bit of waste.
Yeah, because there's no card that can pop the Hody, right? For
Only
8.
Kata. Yeah, not popping it, but putting it to life, right? But yeah, he doesn't help in that case. There's nothing really he could use. Hmm.
Yeah,
Questionable.
well,
Start searching first. Maybe we see another smoker. Build a little bit more board again. I feel like that is the only option we have because we're still on 30 life, right? If we play a little bit slower, maybe Enel is a bit bricked. Maybe he doesn't have enough high end. He didn't search again. He didn't really cycle much again, right? So maybe he doesn't have anything. And we just play like 2 smokers.
yeah, I think that's the play, and you just pray that our opponent can't like do heal into heal into heal.
It feels like D out. Yeah, he does play the smoker. He can restand like what, 3 don't now. So he has 6. And then, yeah, we could play another smoker and then still have 1 open. I'd like that if we have that. If we have another Tashiki, that's also fair, I suppose. But I don't know if there's any other threats he could really play.
So yeah, we have 6 on open here.
No second smoker. I feel like that's not great. Oh, and we rested? Wait, what are we doing? Are we gonna swing live? But then we just give a free cycle, right? Oh, we could do that. Yeah. Oh, wow. That's cool. I like that. That's nice. We clear the body. Yeah, it goes -5. And then. No, -6, and then we kill 7. 2k. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, no, -5, and then we kill 2k. So there we go. Sorry. It's late already.
Yeah. I think we go from like a horrible spot to a slightly like worse spot because the Enel still has like a lot of cards in hand, a blocker, and are going to be able to slam these big things now. But if we don't get rid of the cat there, I think the game is just over. So it was a great play to stay in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And he has. Yeah, he only has 3 cards in hand left. The smoker player. But 3 lives. So another Hody, for example, would be really nice to have next turn. If he does. Just getting his life down, like getting another card from his life. Uh,
Yeah, Hode is just such a broken card.
it is
You know.
only, yeah. It's good against any deck right now, right? Like all the Luffys with the Don open. It's good against any deck that plays blocker. It's such a good card.
Yeah, I think it's probably like the best green card in the game.
Yeah, especially because green like notoriously has no card draw, right? Is there like not a lot of there's a lot of cards that like you don't have card draw. You use either your life, you have like searches, okay, fair enough. But you don't really have card draw if you're not Uta, right?
Yeah, I think you like in Bonnie you could play like the one cost weenies, but outside of that, like if they are cleared, then you don't get like a resource engine. So yeah,
Or now Hody would hit differently. Hody would be so good in this spot. We have 4 life now with two characters on board that can swing. Lead dog character too, but still like this is such a hmm. Yeah, but just it's just going back and forth. It's just yeah. Smoker plays something, clears something from Enel, then Enel plays something. It's yeah, it's it's tough.
yeah. I think this is like the kind of game Enel wants to play because he's right in like what the deck wants to do. Just like answer, keep like delaying the game until we are tipping the scale with our big bodies.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't really care for the long game. He's never gonna deck out, but he's always getting like more resources and getting more cards out of his deck. And as soon as he gets like these 8 cost kits on board, banishing life from Smoker, that's just really good.
Raizu could mill your hand, and now the base blocker plus kid blocker and barter blocker. Yeah, to draw cards. But I think yeah.
No, yeah, but like I'm reading Bartle Blocker and Kit Blocker. They're basically not card draws, are they? They're just recycling themselves. Like you go -1 to play them, and then you get another card back. So it doesn't feel really like card draw. It's not like a card. Like I'm saying something like Guild Tessero. You play it, you draw 2 cards every time he attacks, right? Something like that is so broken. And if something like that would exist in green, I think it would utterly broken. Or like Uta effect. You swing, you have a Don on the leader, you just draw a card. Right? Something like that.
Yeah, I think the closest thing we have is like the one or you can be my samurai engine
Yeah.
to like because that's the thing I've been like trying to cook up for the Yamato starters. You can play the 4 cost Hiyori and then you can tap it with you can be my samurai like tap a 1 drop searcher and then you can crack it for a 5 drop. So you essentially
Yeah.
like draw 2.
Exactly, and then you like the Hiyori could also trash it and then draw another card, right? It's like this is the only way green actually draws cards is by playing these um Wano cards. Okay, Smoker now playing like a bit of a larger board. Okay, yeah, when Raizu could be the one, yeah, exactly. Raizu is one of those that draws your card. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what I mean. Exactly. So you could use it basically 2 turns in a row to go +1.
Yeah. I guess you could argue too that law plays like the blocker law and like bounces things and plays them again, but
I guess. Yeah.
it's not like mono green.
Yeah, no, you're right. So just like green is always just either you draw cards with Film Engine. Film Engine draws you a bunch of cards, right? But it's not powerful anymore. It's not as powerful as it was, so it doesn't really make sense to play it anymore. And then Van was the other engine that draws a bunch of cards. Any other deck, I don't really. Any other engine, I don't really see getting a lot of cards drawn.
Yeah,
That's
when are
on
we
life,
get
maybe.
when are we getting greens on his pilaf?
I think that would be really, really strong.
Yeah.
Really, really strong. Um, I don't know. Is there like yeah, every other deck based nah. I mean a lot of decks struggle with card draw, and it's good like that because yeah, it's not really something you want to have too much of. Okay, maybe back to the game. Enel now just it just feels like Enel is in the driver's seat at this point, right? It's just Enel can swing as much as he wants. He plays a 10 cost and goes +1. Hmm. It's rough for Smoke out here.
Yeah, I think the 3-drop Sanji here is probably like one of the best cards you can develop because it will replace itself and get the poke in.
Yeah, okay, now we have the 10 cost in. And if that thing is on board, of course, like you said, you lose a card in hand, but you still have to respect the 12k swing or like 11k swing, right? It's still a huge swing. And as soon as we go low on life and maybe don't have a kid anymore, and we don't have a lot of cards in Smoker's hand right now, right? We have like 4 cards, so there's not really a lot Smoker can do. Um, the game comes to a close. Like you have a 11k body that needs to be defended. That's basically not possible for a lot of decks.
Yeah, and we also have to like plow through double blocker here.
Mhm.
And like a lot of oh wait, 3 cards in hand. So I guess like probably the best card in this spot would be Hody and trying to miraculously find game, but I don't think that's possible.
It feels like he's thinking about it because the inner just attacked, right? The inner swung at life, so he's definitely gonna get his Hody back. But if he plays the Hody, he has to go for game. And what does he have? He has like a bunch of like 7k swings and whatnot. So I feel like there is a chance. I mean, you definitely. I feel like you don't win if you don't take the Hody, right? You take the Hody. You have this the cards you can stand back up and whatnot. I feel like giving him the Hody here might have been a misplay.
Yeah, definitely. If we don't have like 2Ks in hand, so we are like safe from because with 2 life for Enel, we need to take 4 hits to be able to lose this game.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he said like, okay, if you have Hody, it's better for me to have 2 life. And even if we say all these 3 cards in hand are 2Ks, and he gets like no 2Ks from life, Smoker can win this. He could go 7-7. Wait, how much? He plays Hody, right? He restands 2 Don. So he basically has 5 Don. Yeah, it's still rough. And you start with a 6 maybe, and then work your way up.
Yeah, I feel like the 6 have to hit to be able to do it.
The 6 doesn't hit. We could technically put the Don on the Searcher. So we could also go 7-7-8-8. That could also work, right? And then we just pray that Enel doesn't have anything. We're thinking
Yeah.
5. I don't like the 5 first. Because they're always going to have a 1k, right? It doesn't tell us much. And yeah, he just uses the blocker, right? Maybe he wants to play another turn. Oh, did he
The,
forget that he could just block?
yeah, that we could also have the kid there because we have our rules in boards. If we can like establish the kid with another blocker, we're actually probably surviving another turn.
Yeah, no, that's true. And then we might have the opportunity to go for game with a bigger body next turn if it lives somehow. And then Hody is actually good. So if we live another turn, keep the kid alive, maybe play it like with a second blocker. There's a way to win this, right?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, it feels like Hody is irrelevant for this turn, definitely. It doesn't feel like it. I mean, you could technically go like another like 6-7-7-8. You could do. No, 6, 6, 7, 8 you could do, but that's never gonna happen. Like, if you try to go for game, you should have played the holy before. Okay, and
Yeah,
now he's swinging, and then maybe he just realized his mistake that he did the 5K before Hody. Because
yeah,
resting the bodies now is not very much. If he has a kid, maybe resting bodies is fine. Otherwise, I don't really see why we would rest the bodies.
yeah. We could also pivot into like a big swing on the kata here and try to get rid of it with the other Sanji and then playing out the blocker. But we will see the kid here.
Very impactful. Have the blocker still on board. If we have a second blocker somehow, that would be really good. Maybe leave it on open for the event. Then we have another turn. Could potentially be good for us.
Yeah, and I think we never swing on life here because the analyst boards are going to be able to heal again.
Yeah, agreed. And we have the Holy for next turn, so we definitely know that we can go for game next turn if there's any blockers coming down. Hmm. Tough spot for both of them at this point. Oh, wait, he's gonna.
Play
Oh, is he gonna
Otama.
reduce the cutter and then swing 8 into the 6K cutter?
I think so.
Why didn't he? Oh, he got it. I hope for him that Kid plays out a blocker because otherwise he could have played the one cost out with the blocker. Oh, okay. He basically wasted it, right? Because he
Yeah,
could have.
maybe he wanted to like give his opponent as low as info as possible, but I think there's no reason not to do that.
Yeah, we have 6 more minutes on the clock. So game is definitely going to come to an end before we go into overtime. This looks like. I don't know. I don't agree with the play here with the kid. Slight misplaced. Maybe we should tell Moss after game. Maybe look it back. Like if he plays everything properly here, I feel like he definitely has way like he actually can win the game, right? If he plays, I think he did some slight misstep earlier too. So if we just get better by like taking out the mishaps, then this is actually very well winnable. Start off with a what is that 13 because it doesn't go to 12 because there's 2 life on Enel's side. And 13 is gonna get blocked. We have 8 more dons, so it's another 13. And if we don't have the counter, maybe we do have the counter. We'll see. If we don't have the counter, the kid has to go.
I feel like we are in the same spot as last turn now because the blockers were kind of irrelevant if we think about the holy play.
Are we though? Because if you think about it, we could start poking live here, 5, 6. And if he takes both, we swing bigger and then actually try to go for game. And if
Yeah,
he doesn't take those, we swing it big into the Enel, you know?
yeah, that's true.
It's obviously not great, but it's something at least. Maybe we have another what's it called? Rifle? No, mole gun. Could also be good here.
Yeah, because you are going to be able to stand it on too to do like a big swing on
Yeah,
the
and we get rid
NL.
of the Zeus. So that's also nice.
It's definitely great to like leave the board empty when we are at 1 life, so NL can't split it on with the Zeus and NL and just kill us.
Yeah. Good. It's just and you never like it feels like you missed the the window of like swinging into life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like Ina's just gonna win on the resources in late game anyways. decision. Also, Moss taking his time, obviously, last few turns. We have the opportunity to like take it slow, see that we play everything out properly. Because, like I said before, this is all for practice. I want to get better, so makes a lot of sense to just take it slow and rethink every turn properly.
Yeah, most definitely.
Or first life trigger. That's great. Oh, it's a Kiko trigger.
Ooh.
So it feels like killing the Enel is not an option anymore. No, right?
Yeah, I think we have to go for game now if we don't like have another kid with a blocker. But even then, it's maybe not the
Like the
best
game is
play.
just gonna reset then again. Same board state again. Enel is gonna heal himself for 1 with the 10 cost. We still have the Hody, so I feel like playing the Hody here is probably better.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't want to swing with Otama. We rather have the 8 cost big boy on board.
Yeah, the thick fish,
The thick fish, exactly. You say it.
8k fish bonk.
You played for 5 basically. You get 5 back. You get 3 back, 2 back. You played for for 5, and you could what? You could go 7, 8, 10, or you could go 7, 9, 9. I feel like that's no wait. You would go 8, 8, 10, right? Wait, am I?
Yeah, oh wait,
8, 8, 9,
no.
8, 8, 9. You would go 8, 8, 9 because the lives recycle themselves, or do you go 7, 8, 10? I don't know. What would you do here?
I think I like the 7, 8, 10. Because that means that like the last swing will be bigger. But yeah, there's arguments to do both of the things.
René, make yourself useful in the chat and count like what's the best amount of swings with a big fish. Like how would you swing? Would you go 7, 8, 10, or would you go like 8, 8, 9? What would you do?
I would swing with the double sound you say, put our opponent to 0, and then I would put everything on Otama and go for the style points.
Exactly, go for the flex. Okay, we throw another brick. We swing 8, and now we basically committed. We have to play the Hody,
Yeah.
hoping that there's not going to be a blocker now from the life.
Yeah, I think as an L player here, like even if we don't have the counter, I think we took the life too fast. I think we should have thought about it a little bit more, because then we are like giving our opponent second thoughts, like, wait, can he counter?
The mind games are strong with you. That's crazy.
Yeah, you need to do it sometimes.
Dude, I love it. I do it all the time. Like I'm looking forward to our game. I'm gonna mind game the hell out of you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay, we do go for the line. Oh my god! No, this is not real. This is actually not real.
Yeah. I mean,
It's,
we got punished because we could play the whole day after the
well,
swing,
he
right?
doesn't have counter in hand. We could have
Oh
done it
wait, yeah,
last
we could.
turn. We could have done it last turn. No, it wouldn't have mattered because there's a Brilliant Life anyways. I don't think it matters, right?
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
it
oh
wasn't a
my.
miss sequence because he had to play the holy first to stand it on, because otherwise
Yeah, it's not
this.
like in the end here it gets like a 1k from life, and then it is like it's bad that you didn't play the whole right. Like it's I don't know. It wasn't a miss sequence, not at all. It's just unlucky. In this game, it was actually just unlucky. Holy. I mean, you could have done 7-8 holy, but that's not what you do, right? Like it doesn't make sense.
No, yeah,
Like
I agree.
like if there's a badge in life, I mean, yeah, maybe, right?
We could do it because our opponent took the life so fast, so that might show
Exactly.
that there might not be counter in the hand. So, but
I
yeah,
mean,
I think
yeah.
playing the holy there might be like the correct line.
And it's definitely debatable because we could obviously pull up numbers now and say like, okay, our opponent had so many 2Ks, so this makes more sense, or the probability that he draws a trigger like a badge or relay is this high, right? And then we could figure it out. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's inner, and we got fucked, and whatever, doesn't care, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Enel won in a stylish fashion, game three. So for 2-1 win. Um, exactly like Jack already said. Thanks for tuning in. Um, it was a long evening, but it was fun casting. We had some really good games. We had some very intense games. Lots of content. Thank you, Epsa, for casting with me
Thank you for having me.
every time. If you want to, you can do it obviously more often. It's up to you.
Yeah.
We could arrange something. We'll see. But yeah. Um, if you don't, if you didn't watch it or you didn't see it, like I think the VODs are always getting uploaded, and yeah, I think that's it for me. I don't really have anything more to say. If Jack really wants to say anything else, he's gotta come and say it himself. But yeah,
Yeah.
all
Thank
for
you
my
for watching,
script.
guys.
Yes, thank you for watching. Bye bye.